Hello, everybody. This is Zach Said It Again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley, and we are continuing my Disney journey with a young lady that lives near the House of Mouse and is attempting to make a career around her love for the most magical place on earth. And she happens to be my personal friend of 27 years, going back to high school. And this is the first time we've ever actually spoken uh, since I graduated high school 23 years ago. So known to her social media followers as Starry Mari. So, Star, thank you so much for talking to me today.
I love to be here. It's been that long. It's amazing.
Yes,
So I graduated in 2002, which, oh my goodness, it's been that long.
we're talking next year will be 25 years for you, my dear.
It is.
And
Time really does fly.
and I'm not ready for that either. I have a child that's almost a teenager, so I'm
Oh goodness. I
fin-
have teenagers now.
two teenagers. Oh my goodness! And are any of them carbon copies of you?
Well, funny story. They are in many ways.
Mm.
My oldest is almost exact. So I got all boys, three
Oh my.
boys.
Yeah.
And my eldest, he just graduated, and then I have one going into high school and one going into kindergarten.
Oh my gosh. So you have grown children
Uh-huh.
practically. And
Uh-huh.
then was is the newest one was that a surprise or was that
Definitely a COVID surprise. Okay.
Oh, he was he God said I'm going to give you something to do during the
That's
pandemic.
right.
Here you
You
are.
you don't have enough on your plate. Let me give you something else.
Right, right. Well, I want to tell you, and I'm very happy to have an opportunity to tell you this because I have never been able to. But when I first met you, I was in the ninth grade. You were a sophomore. We were in Mary Wiseman's English class together. And I'm an English major, but that was a terrible class for me.
Uh-huh.
That was a terrible year for me. I had an aide that did not want to do what needed to be done to make sure that I was taken care of. Plus, teenage years and really starting to realize I was very fortunate in growing up that I had wonderful parents who never I never realized I was any different in terms of my
Uh-huh.
physical disability, but when I was getting into the ninth grade I was really starting to feel very different and very lonely, and your sense of humor and just no nonsense way about you kept me in stitches during a very difficult period in my life.
Okay.
So you never knew, but you were a bright spot in a very dark period in my life. So I'm very happy to be able to tell you that and to say thank you for being who you are.
Oh, thank you. And yes, thank you, because I literally was just being myself, and sometimes being myself wasn't always the best thing. Okay.
Mm. I I remember that we had to write. She challenged us to write a commercial or a little skit for smoking in public and being escorted out. So I was paired with you, and you weren't there the day that we had to write the script. So I just wrote it and said here, say this, and you said it perfectly. And I think we won.
You knocked it out the
Uh,
park, I hope.
It was a con. I think we won. I do, and taking uh,
Yes.
home ec with you the following year. You again were very entertaining, but you befriending me and your friendship has always meant a lot to me. I speak often of you to my wife and the great times that you brought me. So Thank you, and thank you for letting me have an opportunity to tell you that.
Yes, thank you. I want to say something to that actually. Um, you are one of my many memories
Uh-huh.
from high school as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really talk to many people from school anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
when I do see you on social media, I try to always interact, and I'm so proud of all the things that you're doing.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
never thought anything less than that than what you are doing. In fact, the sky is the limit, and I believe it's yours.
Oh, thank you.
I remember home ec especially
Yes.
uh, because that was one of my favorite classes,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked forward to having that class with you.
Yeah.
Um, you definitely made English a lot easier because it was it was not my favorite either. And I love Miss Wise. I loved her, loved her,
Yeah.
loved her. I was just not interested. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
was a flighty little. I compared myself sometimes to Maria from Sound of Music. You know, how do
Ah,
Maria?
there you go. There you go.
That's it. So it was easy to be around someone who also wasn't harshly judging
Oh,
me in my moments.
no,
I had
definitely
my fair
not.
share.
Definitely not. I was waiting to see if you had a memory to share of me, but if I helped you in English and made that easier for you, then I'm
Yes,
glad, and
yes,
I'm very proud to be your friend. Um, we were discussing your late adopted brother Curtis. He was also a dear friend of mine, and I miss him a lot.
yeah, yeah. Of course, we always wonder what if and what would have been had he
Sure.
um, not been. So he's got children as well, and
Mm-hmm.
up until probably 2 years ago, I had kept in good touch with them.
Mm-hmm.
They, I believe, now are living in South Carolina, so I have found them again. Um, so I am planning to actually see them this summer. Um,
Wonderful. That is
probably
great
gonna drive
news,
up. Yeah.
and I'm very happy to hear that. So where we're picking it up is 2002 when you graduated.
Uh-huh.
Georgia with High School the year before I did. So how did you get from Georgia with High School in 2002 to being the queen of the Magic Kingdom and being there so many times that I wish I was and so jealous of you, but enjoy seeing all your feedback and content. So tell
Well,
me
you should first know that I think of you often when I'm there. So you're there. You're just not there
Yeah,
physically.
yeah. Well, that's good. So my spirit is and you're right. My spirit is always there.
Mm-hmm.
So, because that is my home. The only thing in the world, Whitfield has been great to me, and it hasn't been great to everybody that's lived there. I'm sure that you know what I mean, but
Yes.
which is why you're not here now, probably. But
Correct.
it's been very very good to me and given me lots of wonderful opportunities, and I would not be here without the wonderful support system that I have, or have a career, or have a home, and I have my family and the support of the community. But if I could have a space in Magic Kingdom, and I know there's a lot of buildings there that they don't use. All I need, if you give me a 12 by 12 space, I can make it work, man.
You know, that's all you need. 12 by 12 space, you're right. A comfy pillow, if even.
Yeah,
Okay? I
yeah.
can make it work.
I'm in the Magic Kingdom. Star, I'm telling you, I was there the first week of June, and we were going to meet up, but it was just too chaotic on both ends for us. As soon as you come back home, everything starts again, and you think, oh my lord, I wish I was back at Disney. Because even when stuff goes wrong, as it often does when you're on vacation, the Disney magic clears it up.
Tears it right up. I
And
have similar stories.
yeah, I'm sure you do. So, yeah, and I didn't even let you answer the question. How did you get from Whitfield to the house to going to the House of Mouse so regularly?
So I think, like for many, at least I imagine for many, you
Mm.
want to go to Disney. You see all the Disney and the media, and it's everybody's dream. Super
Yeah,
Bowl wins, going to Disney World, right? Okay.
you bet.
So I went. When did I go? The first time I went, I probably don't even remember going. I was so young. But I went again in 20. We started going on our annual trip in 2015. So
Mm-hmm.
annually we were going 2015, 2016, and we went in 2016, and I decided I'm moving here. There's no way I can just come once a year.
And
There's no way.
and I mean, and excuse me for getting too invasive, but that is an expensive thing to do. Like I have to save up five years
Correct.
to go 5 days. So
Correct.
how was it that you were without me getting too much up in you?
Well,
How was it that you were able to go annually? Because
so I went.
I want to know these tricks so I can do that.
And I have no problem sharing because I want everyone to enjoy.
Right.
But the end all be all of it was one, discipline, but two, couponing saved my life in so many ways. And I say that because it got me to Disney. Um,
Right.
a quick backstory: 2012 was the first time I ever used a coupon willingly. My grandmother used to have me clip the coupons, and I would go unwillingly with her. I'd go. I like her company. I like her, but I wasn't paying attention. And in
Right.
2012, I I looked up actually, and um, this is important because this is literally what got me to this thing. Is I was in the store, I was trying to buy diapers for my son, and I happened upon the clearance. Sometimes they have the little clearance kiosk or whatever, clearance end caps. And I
Indeed.
happened to have a coupon for the Pampers, and they were already marked off 50%, and then my coupon took them down even more. And I got a thrill. It was a rush. I was like, oh, I got a $20 pack of diapers for like $4.99. Um, and so I kept doing that. And then, like I said, eventually, fast forward a few years, we started taking our annual trip to Disney with family. And at that point, it was more so the elders in the family. They were footing the majority of that bill.
Mm.
Um,
Right.
I would cover my food, my kids, all the things. But
Sure.
by 2015, I was pitching in, and I was getting my own stay. We stayed at the World Quest is where we would stay.
Mm.
By 2016, my cousin was a cast member. She went to the college program. So now we were going, and we didn't have to buy tickets.
Oh,
It's just she
fantastic.
had tickets. So for the first couple of years, we were having to foot the bill, right? But we were couponing. I didn't know why we were couponing until I figured it out myself, right?
Right.
So once I got the taste of the couponing and what it could do for me, I started a Disney fund. So whatever money that I could save. So if I saved $15 on my grocery trip, that $15 I would then put it in a Disney fund
Yes.
because I was going to spend it anyway. It's my mindset. I was going to spend it without the coupons anyway. Let me put it in my Disney pot.
Right.
So anyway, like I said, we got to 2016, and I started finding all these other new things because she's a cast member now, and
Mm.
I'm getting sort of a behind the scenes look at things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the itch started itching even more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I've got to go, got to figure it out. Went back in 2017, twice actually. We went down. My sister was going for a work event, and she said, "Hey, I'm going to Orlando. Do you want to go? It's just a quick ride." And I was like, "Well, will we be there 2 days?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, you go do what you do, and I'm going to go do what I do."
Right.
And went that year in July, went back again that September, and that was when I literally made the decision. I said, "You know what? I can't just do this once a year. I gotta be here." So I put it in high gear,
Okay.
couponed, and instead of keeping it wasn't my Disney Fund money as of yet, but it became my Disney Fund money then. So I had a quick little, just spendable Disney Fund. We'll say that
Right.
this was
Right.
Mission Move to Disney.
Yes.
This was a different Disney Fund. It was a Mission Move to Disney Fund. And within 2 years of me starting that fund, um, I was out of there. I had a goal. I actually wanted to move sooner than that. Didn't work out for several reasons. I don't know if you're aware. My middle son has a lot of medical issues. He is He's autistic. He also has epilepsy. He's got all kinds of things. I call him my medically loved baby.
Yes.
So,
Well,
um, yeah, a lot of things kept me from leaving sooner. Um,
well, God
but
bless
then,
him, and thank God there are places like Disney that kind of help us out if we have not had the magic in life we were supposed to have. Mr. Disney, I believe, I don't have any documentation to prove this, but I believe even though he created Disney World for everyone, I think he created it especially for disabled people and people who can't get those normal blessings from life that other people take for granted, like your son and myself.
hmm yes, yes,
Um,
yes. I totally agree with that because that is the one place where we're all as crowded as it is and as hot as it can be, and all of the things that would normally deter and upset other people. I'm literally at peace. The most that I'm ever at peace when I'm there.
mm-hmm,
Uh, so yeah, I agree with that. It is home for sure. Um, I don't live. I live an hour and a half from the parks,
mm-hmm,
and I take that hour and a half drive. I try my best to get there at least 3 times a month. Sometimes it's more, but I have to be realistic. I can't always make it. So if I can't make my 3 times, I have to at least dip my toe in that park one time. So I'm
right,
realistic with my can I get there? Sometimes I will be honest, I don't feel like taking that drive. Just like this weekend, I wanted to go, and I instead volunteered to work. I had several um, coworkers. I work PRN, and I work specifically on the holidays where people don't want to work.
right,
And so several of my coworkers, they wanted to be in the parks, and I think another was going to Tennessee, so they had nobody. And I was like,
yeah,
"Well, I can't. I already told you I can't work this weekend." But it would have defaulted to them falling back to work, and I didn't want them to miss the magic because they had also planned, and because they're full time and I'm not, I went ahead and I said, well, I'll work, and then after work I'll just bop over. I just didn't feel like it.
right,
That was how it went, but they
and
shared all the lovely pictures and videos with me, so it's almost like I was there.
and adulting, and it's terrible to have to adult because when you're in Disney, you don't have to adult, even if you have to
At
do,
all.
even when you have to do the adult things, you get to watch your child absorb it all, and it just um you go 3 times a month, and I feel fortunate to have been 5 times in my life because there are so many people who want to go that never ever get to go, and I think it's something that every human being worth their salt should do at least once. And so let's back it up just a little bit here and get some background. When you were doing your annual trip, when you were doing that with your family, where were you traveling from?
North Carolina.
Okay. So,
Cause yeah, I moved to North Carolina before. You're
right.
right. Let's back it up. I left Virginia to North
Mhm.
Carolina.
Mhm. It was no surprise to me at all that you left with Phil. You were it just seemed to me that you had a personality and an aura that was much too big for this town, so I knew you were going to be out of there as soon as you could be. And so that did not surprise me at all. When we travel to Disney, we fly out of Charlotte into Orlando, and that's a little over an hour flight. So I'm thinking you're traveling about the same distance when you drive to the park as we do when we fly. So I what I really am looking for, and I told my travel agent this on our podcast last week. I am looking. I want to find the ad that's gonna pop up and says, "We Disney needs a writer for this," because I always write about Disney. I've written a traveling memoir about going to Disney. Thank God we got to experience it before the world ended in the pandemic. And I will tell you, um, when I went to Disney the first time, I was 14 years old. We drove from Withville. We crossed the Florida state line. We stop at the Florida Welcome Center to go to the bathroom. My dad's getting me out. I get my feet tangled up in a box. I go forward, he goes backwards,
Oh,
and I break my nose. I can still feel that pavement going across my nose in that 100-degree weather. So
mm-mm.
if Disney, and it was still the best vacation we'd ever had at that point. If Disney can cure a broken nose, if Disney can make you feel like you have no handicap.
And I just don't think that words ever can. You just can't put to words
Mm-mm.
how it changes things and how it makes the impossible possible, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
what seems to be impossible.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why I believe Walt Disney is alive and well today in those parks, and no matter what the
um,
world is going through, they're still unveiling his blueprints and stuff that they're doing today. Like
yeah.
he wanted when he built the Jungle Cruise, he wanted real animals in that Jungle Cruise. So that developed into Animal Kingdom,
Uh-huh.
I mean, the man,
One man with an idea, yes.
yeah, and I'm telling you what, I have been very fortunate in 21 years of reporting to have met and interviewed some very notable people in my career. But I'm telling you, every time I meet Mickey Mouse, I am starstruck because that mouse was my hero, was my friend when I had no other friend in this world.
That's so true.
You know?
I, although I was, my mother used to love and still does to call me
Mm,
the social butterfly. Says,
mm,
yeah, I can mix it up and chop it up with pretty much anybody, but to
yes, you
say
can.
a true friend, I would consider you, from high school anyway,
Oh, you
to
bet.
say it. But yeah, a true friend. I was like, I can't really count many of those, right? I can chop it up with anyone for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but Mickey was a big to do for me, and I kept that a secret, so to speak. Many people didn't even know I had an interest in Disney until I moved all the way here. It was a big shock to a lot of people closest to me, even
Yeah.
when I said I'm moving to the Mouse House. That's what I call it. I said, "Well, I'm moving to the Mouse House," and they thought, "There's no way you're moving to Disney." I was like, "I literally am. If I could move into Disney, I would."
Yes, that's what
um,
I'm saying. I don't want to live in Orlando. I'm a little afraid of like
right.
the hurricane season and all that, and you don't know what the you when you're established someplace and you know the disability system. That's one thing, but like
Hmm.
to move in and reset and redo that, I don't think I could do that unless Mickey calls and said, "Hey, I hooked you up." In which case, I'll be down there in a shop.
And I'm telling you, that was a big transition for me also because I came down here with just my kids at
Mm.
first, and like I said, you mentioned having to reestablish and get acclimated to how
Yes.
and we got here just before the pandemic hit, so we were already in strange territory. I live in Clearwater, so
Mm-hmm.
my cousin stays in Lakeland now. Disney is my place where I go. That's my
Mm-hmm.
respite. I said I go there, and they're like, "Why would you go there?" I said, "Listen, you don't understand. I
Yeah.
have to go here in order
Yeah.
to get better."
Star has graciously agreed to stick with me for another episode, so we got a lot more Disney to talk about, a lot more life to talk about, and we're going to talk about some great things that Star is doing, so stay with us and please join us for part 2.